Right, we are going to look at the thorn in the flesh mentioned in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 to 9. But before we do that, I want to look at some other verses in the Bible that talks about thorn in the flesh and just see what it is. Right, Numbers 33, verse 55. But if you will not drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye which ye let remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein you dwell. Okay, so that means there are the people, they would come in and they would overtake a certain place, and if you would let some of the inhabitants stay there, then those inhabitants would be a prick in your eye and thorns in your side. So it talks about people. It talks about people. It doesn't talk about sickness or disease or anything like that. This talks about people. And we can make a very nice New Testament thing about it and interpret spiritually and explain how the law will still bring a problem to your life if you don't get all the law out of your life, but keep it in certain areas. Right. Now, that will be a nice message to preach one day. So some of you can just grab it and preach it there. Right, let's go to the next verse, and that will be in Joshua 23, verse 13. Joshua 23, verse 13. There it is. Now Joshua was old. I've got the wrong verse there. Joshua 23. I should have just gone down here to 13. There it is. Now for certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from the good thing which the Lord your God has given you. So this talks about a certain people that is before them, that if God could drive them out, it would not be a thorn in the side or a scourge in the side or a thorn in the eyes. They would be delivered. People would live in absolute peace because these other people are making life so difficult. Okay, let's go to Judges. I think it's Judges. Let me just make sure here. Judges 2, verse 3. It says, Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. So here he comes and he says that talks about a certain people that will be a thorn in the side, and a snare, which makes life difficult. So this speaks about a freedom given to one person, but he's in the presence of other people that are actually the enemy, and this enemy, when you look at them and look at what they do and what they do to you, it is painful to you. Okay, right, now let's go to 2 Corinthians. Chapter 12. And let's read. Now, let's first go to chapter 11. Chapter 11. Would to God ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. So here he comes and he clearly says that he is very jealous with them, with the jealousy of God, godly jealousy. Okay, so he cares for them and he wants them to stay in the gospel of grace, and he was scared that other people would come, and we're going to look at that now, or that they will be taken away through subtlety, through